Good evening, Hawks fans, and welcome back to the Atlanta Sports District. I'm your host, Russell Spence, bringing you episode 20 of this inaugural season in our podcast. I'm coming to you just a little bit after a 135 to 126 loss to the San Antonio Spurs. Let's get into how all that unfolded. In the first quarter, we had horrible rotations. The defense was awful. But our offense was able to attack Luke Cornett a lot, and that led us to a 15-13 lead at the first timeout by the Spurs. For the rest of the quarter, they destroyed us from three because our rotations were really bad. They were slow all night. When you have a team that shoots as many threes and as well as the Spurs do, you have to rotate. Didn't think I'd have to say that. Overall, though, the offense had been wonderful. It was keeping us in the game. Then we put in what I am going to keep referring to as the stupid lineup. We put in a lineup that was Keaton, Kennard, and Veet, again, with Mo and Onyeka as, let's try to save the scoring. Let's make it where they can't score because we get these big guys in and they'll save the defense. That doesn't work because we couldn't get a rebound because we were super small. From there, we had someone fall on Onyeka's leg and he played hurt the rest of the game and looked quite bad. Mo Gay was still playing amazingly on defense, and in that short time span at the end of the first quarter, we made a few jumpers and that pushed our lead to 34-28 Atlanta. To start the second quarter, we went to a Kristaps Porzingis and Onyeka lineup rather than keeping Mo Gay in the game. And I don't know anyone who could have seen this coming, but we're playing a Keaton, Kennard, Veet, and KP lineup. 4 players incapable of doing their job on defense. And who would have thought we couldn't guard a parked car? That's a crazy thing to have happen. I don't understand. And to make matters worse, the lineup couldn't score either. They went on a 21-5 point run. And they go ahead 47-39 before we call a timeout and think maybe we need to change something. For the rest of the quarter, the defense was awful. We put our starters back in, and the defense was still bad. We didn't rotate at all. And we gave up 74 points in the first half, 48 points in the second quarter. And it all started within just a matter of minutes, giving up 21 points when you put that crappy, awful defensive lineup on the floor. That lineup, that moment you chose to put that lineup on the floor, Quinn Snyder, you lost us this basketball game. That second that you made that decision. In the third quarter, the starters started to play well and pulled us back within the game. It was 76-85 Spurs, and they called a timeout because they realized they were losing some of their lead. We had a run-on of good defense that sparked a comeback, and Keaton Wallace hit 2 threes and brought the game within a reasonable margin by the time the third quarter ended. But none of that mattered because to start the fourth quarter, we went back to the Onyeka and KP lineup. The defense again was horrible for the entire start of the fourth quarter. For the first 6 minutes, the defense was horrid. They stretched their lead back out. I said, the defense has been so bad. I wonder what the common denominator of the defense being so bad in the second and fourth quarters was. Oh, wait, it's that Mo Gay didn't play in those quarters. After that, with the last half of the fourth quarter, we put the starters back in, other than we played Veet instead of Richase. Nall was started to go off. He played great. But it was too little, too late, and we ended up losing 135 to 126. Moving to the player-by-player breakdown. Today, I would have fired Quinn Snyder. I am telling you that now, as a body who watch my podcast. If I was on Soleil and I was the decision maker in Atlanta, Quinn Snyder would have been fired today. Because quite honestly, if you actually take the way the players are playing, of the players we have healthy, the players who are playing, the player who is playing the best on our team right now is Jalen Johnson. And probably second is Onyeka Okongwu. But third on that list is Mohamed Gay. And Mohamed Gay played 4 minutes in a basketball game for the Atlanta Hawks. He played 4 minutes. And in those 4 minutes, Mohamed Gay was +5. We won the game when Mohamed Gay was in the game by 5 points, and he only played 4 minutes, and we ended up losing by 9. That is completely and totally, utterly ridiculous. The rotations have been pitiful all year long. They've been pitiful the entire tenure of Quinn Snyder. I don't know what it would take. I don't know, I probably would have had the conversation before now if I was on Soleil with Quinn Snyder and forced him to have a person on his staff who says, no, Quinn, you don't decide who plays anymore. I do. Because I'm going to put a rotation on the floor that can get stops. We played a team without their best player, without probably their second best player, and without probably their fourth best player tonight. And in that game, we gave up 135 points because we refused to play lineups that can get stops. It's unacceptable. Mo Gay played 4 minutes, had 0 points, 0 rebounds, 0 assists, 0 turnovers, 0 steals, and a block. But was +5 in those minutes. I don't understand if someone has to come and beat it into you. But play Mo Gay more. I don't mind if we get beaten by a team who's better than us. Just last game, I thought there were things we could do to maybe have played a better game against the Detroit Pistons. But the team, at the end of the day, was better than us. They played better than us, and that's what happened. They ended the game with the higher score because they were better than us. The team we played tonight is not better than us. We lost because of idiocy. Because it seems to me that Quinn Snyder doesn't have a brain cell in his head sometimes. I look at the things he does, and I legitimately say that zero thought could have been put into this. I'm a person who's watched every minute of this game, of these games we've played for 13 straight years. At the end of the season, it'll be 14 straight years. I've never seen a decision as dumb as playing as Mo Gay only 4 minutes in this game. That's the dumbest decision I've ever seen a person in the Hawks organization make, ever. In my opinion, that would be a fireable offense, and I probably would fire Quinn Snyder today. I don't think that would be the proper decision. But you have to find a coach who's going to play the best players. And that's going to bring me to the point, I don't care how much players make. Right now, Kristaps Porzingis is one of the worst players on our team, especially defensively. It is pitiful. He only had 5 rebounds today in 29 minutes. His defense is horrid. He is unable, physically unable, to do the things we are asking him to do. And Mo Gay is excelling at those things. And we refuse to play him because Kristaps Porzingis makes $38 million and Mo makes a little over $1 million. I don't care what they make. Play the best player. I have a few statistics I would like to talk about, talking about Mo. So far this season with Mo Gay on the floor, we have a defensive rating of 113.9. For reference, that would be a top 10 defense in the entire NBA. But most of Mo Gay's minutes have come with Keaton, Veit, and Kennard all on the floor. Well, just Veit has a defensive rating this season of 118.2, which would be about 29th in the NBA, according to the statistics. So you are playing this player who's still, it would be a top 10 defense if that was just the defense we played all the time, is the defense that when we had Mo Gay on the floor. If that was all of our defense always, we would have a top 10 defense. And if we played defense like when Veit's on the floor, we would have second to last. So if you took Veit off the floor and just had Mo on the floor, or just, I don't know, it's a crazy thought, but put a good defensive lineup around Mo and not just put 4 bad defenders and Mo Gay and say, okay, Mo, clean it all up and it'll be good. If you did that, if you actually put like a real defensive lineup around him, like, I don't know, maybe try Naw, Dyson, Jalen, Mo, Onyeka. Or even Naw, Kennard, or Dyson, Kennard. I'd be cool with that. Dyson, Veit. I'd be fine with that. We never do that. We make Mo be a miracle worker, and he's actually doing the miracle, and then you still don't play it. I do not get it. I will never get it. I will never understand it. Until the day I die, the way we've treated Mo Gay, I'll never understand. He's a superstar on defense, and we played him 4 minutes. Moving on, Keaton played 12 minutes. He had 6 points, 2 assists, and a turnover. Thought Keaton actually played pretty well. He defended, it was a little bit rough, but he made some shots. He didn't turn the ball over. Overall, he kept the ball moving, which has been a little bit of a struggle for Keaton. He did very well. I was proud of him tonight. I thought he played well. Next, we'll talk about Luke Kennard. Luke Kennard played 16 minutes. He had 10 points on very good efficiency. 4 of 6 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3. 2 rebounds, 3 assists, no turnovers. Kennard played very well. He actually hunted his shot, but you put him out there in a defensive lineup that we put him out there with, and it's pitiful. The defense is pitiful when he's on the floor. Because, again, he's playing with 2 other guards, him and 2 other guards. And, again, we had KP on the floor, and he's one of the worst defenders on our team. He's awful right now at doing the things we need him to do. We're asking him to play up the touch. He's terrible at it. We're asking him to rotate. He's terrible at it. And so when you put 3 guards and a terrible center on the defensive end, yeah, that unit's going to get blown off the court. And I don't see how you don't see that coming. Next, we'll talk about Veit Krejci. Veit played 30 minutes in this game. I like Veit a lot. I think Veit's contract is one of the best in the NBA. That's not a joke. I think him and Mo both are on some of the best contracts in the entire NBA. Playing him 30 minutes is completely and totally ridiculous. Again, he has one of the worst defensive ratings in the entire NBA. He's played horrid on the defensive end. If you just took his sample size of his defensive rating, it would be second to last in the entire NBA. It'd be down there with the New Orleans Pelicans. Yeah, you play him 30 minutes because he got hot for a week. And I'm not saying that he doesn't deserve to play. He does. But we have to be smarter about how we do this. And you can't play him over the guy you just drafted first overall who's playing very well on defense. And I know he didn't score much today. I don't care. Because I'm about to get to Zach. Zach was the only other player who had a positive plus minus. He's obviously doing stuff to help us win. Next, we'll talk about Onyeka. Onyeka played 25 minutes, 15 points, 6 of 11 from the field, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 turnovers, but was minus 19 in the game. And it was all those start of the second quarter and start of the fourth quarter. It's unacceptable. The Onyeka KP lineups get destroyed. Because Onyeka is not a very good defender at the 4. He doesn't move his feet well enough to play the 4. And KP is a pitiful defender at the 5. At doing what we ask him to do. If you ask KP to play drop and just only protect the rim and not ever switch and not ever play on the perimeter, not ever play up the touch, he's fine-ish. But doing the stuff we ask him to do in our scheme that works really well for Onyeka, Jalen, Mo, Zach, Dyson, Nurk works for every other player on our team that actually is a capable defender. So you can't just say, oh, well, KP's on the floor, so we're going to play drop, even though that would hurt the rest of the roster. No, you have to play this scheme, the up-to-touch and switchable scheme that we've put in, because our whole roster, it works with the whole thing except for this one guy. And that's why it's so bad. But then when you put him and Onyeka on the floor together, then it really doesn't work, because Onyeka is not a 4 in that scheme. He can't play against guards and switch and do a... So he gets blown by, and then KP's out of position because he's been trying to play up the touch, and it's awful. Stop playing that lineup. It does not work. And it's bad on offense, too. There's not enough ball movement then. There's not enough player movement then. It's bad on both ends. They're getting torched. Stop playing this lineup. Moving to the starters. Zach played 21 minutes. He was 1 of 10 from the floor. The shooting was bad today. He had 2 rebounds, 1 assist, only 1 turnover. But again, he was +2 in the game. He makes winning plays. We get more stops when Mo's on the floor, when Zach's on the floor. I do not understand not playing him more. I know he didn't shoot the ball well. I don't care. Shooting the ball well does not mean you're playing well. And shooting the ball poorly doesn't mean you're playing poorly. I mean, how many times have we seen it where I go, yeah, Dyson shot the ball really bad today, and the offense was bad. It's capital B, bad. And he was one of the best players on the floor because his defense is that good. Well, Zach is capable of that. Zach could have an offensive night where he shoots 1 of 10 from the floor like he did tonight and still be a positive player. Veet not scoring, Veet only having 5 points in 30 minutes, he is incapable of being a positive player if he only scores 5 points in those minutes. Incapable because his defense is that bad. So why are you still putting him out there that much and playing Zach only 21 minutes? It does not make sense. The rotations right now are pitiful. They are pitiful. I do not get it. Moving on to Kristaps Porzingis. KP had 16 points, 7 of 10 from the field, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 fouls, 1 turnover. But again, he just doesn't match what we need him to do. The defense is really, 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 really bad when he's on the floor. Every time. And sometimes we score enough to keep up with it. He was only -3 in the game because he had some times where when it was like him and Jalen on the floor, our offense just swept away and we scored a bunch and we were ahead with them on the floor. Doesn't matter. The defense is so bad that it's not sustainable. It's like I said the other day about Utah. Utah was putting a team together that's trying to beat you 150 to 140. That's not a sustainable form of winning. We scored 126 points tonight. I get the offense was pretty good. We gave up 135 points to a team that was missing 3 of their top 4 players. You can't defend like this and win. It's not possible. We are better right now without KP because the defense is so much better. And we play more defensive lineups. I do not understand not playing defensive lineups no matter what. If KP's on the floor, he needs to be like the worst defender on the floor. Then it'll be okay. The defense will be okay. Moving on to Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Noah played 34 minutes. He had 38 points on 17 shots. Awesome. He was awesome offensively tonight. 4 rebounds, 5 assists, only 2 turnovers. He did have one that was really ugly late in the game, but overall he played so well. The defense was great. I feel bad for him because he literally single-handedly kept us in the game, and the decisions of his coach made it where it didn't matter. I hope we continue to get this now. That was awesome. I mean, he took amazingly open shots. He took, when he was open, he shot it, and when he wasn't, he didn't. When he got a switch that was advantageous, he attacked it. He killed Luke Cornett all night. He was great. Didn't matter because Quinn Snyder decided to play whatever the heck rotation he decided to play. And lastly, Jalen Johnson. Jalen had 26 points on 15 shots. 2 of 3 from 3. The three-point shot looks great. He fixed where his elbow used to like tuck in really funky. It was like that when he shot it, almost like Michael Kidd-Gilchrist-like. And he's fixed it. It doesn't do that anymore. And the shot's going in a lot more. It's got great arc. It's got great spin, great release. It looks good. So I project that this shot is actually what Jalen's shot might be for the rest of his career. If he continues to just have this same form, looks really nice. He had 12 rebounds, 7 assists, 4 turnovers, but it's very high usage for a player who's not used to it. He played great, and it didn't matter because of the decisions of his coach, which seems to be a common theme of tonight's game. I think this was the worst coach game of the year. I think the coaches cost us the game. And I already told you if I was on Soleil, I would have fired Quinn Snyder after today's game. Do I think that would have been the correct decision? Probably not. Do I think it's the one I would have made? Absolutely. I don't know if there would have been a coach that could do a better job, but I know Ryan Schmidt will play defensive lineups. That's what we built our team to do, start playing defensive lineups, because we literally built our team to be a bunch of long defensive players around Trae Young, and then we don't have Trae Young, and we think, oh, let's lean completely away how we built our team. That makes no sense, Quinn. It makes no sense. Stop doing it. Play the players who don't stink at the job you're asking them to do. That's all I have to say. I'm really frustrated by this. This game is a microcosm of what's been frustrating me all year, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse. And I don't know how to fix it other than get rid of the dude who's making the decisions. Quinn Snyder is a human being, and I understand that he is a human being, and I wish the best for him, and I hope that he can figure out whatever the heck is wrong with his rotations, because I think he's a nice guy, and I do think he's a great basketball mind. In terms of his offensive scheme, it's one of the best in the NBA. His motion offense stuff, it's unstoppable. It really is. But until you can learn who to put on the floor when, you can't be the coach of my basketball team. That's what I've got to say about it. All of that being said, we play again on Saturday against the Pelicans. Hopefully we'll play better rotations then. They can beat us. They're a terrible team, but they can beat us. If we make decisions this bad, we will lose to them. Figure it out. Play your best players. All that being said, let me know what you think about our rotations. Do you think they're as bad as I think they are? Like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope you have a great day.